We have the top drills. This is going to be more individualized. Top drills. We shot 6 hours of video for the global network. I did some hitting stuff on the floor with some of my former players who are in college now. Okay, it's to create consistent success. Again, that word consistency is vital. It's what we do. Okay, I think you're going to love this. Okay, again, if you're not consistent, then what good is it? You're not going to win games. You got to be able to do it. So here we roll. Okay. Number one, prepare to perform. Some of this you'll hear from the past one because we say it all the time. We prepare players to perform. This was last year after we won the championship in hand-to-hand. It was 16-15 game. It was our fifth game in 4 days. Everybody's out of pitching and it became a slugfest. And we ended up playing West Springfield as a team from our area. And we both ended up in the state tournament too. So we knew we'd see them again. And, anyway, a lot of fun. It was fun to do it. Pressure. Okay, you've already heard me say that, field or applied, so I'll move on from that. Drilling versus live. Okay, there has to be a balance. Okay, like I said, I've coached some incredible hitters over in my years, blessed with a ton of talent. They've overcome me, but you know what? I feel like I've learned more from them. So that's what we're going to share today. But drilling versus live. Everybody wants to hit live. All kids want to hit live. Like I said, I own a facility. I see a couple hundred kids a week. I used to work 30, 36 hours on the floor. I worked in the school system. I was a security, and then I ran security. I didn't get my college degree. I started coaching it literally at 19 years old. We had lie about my age. Worked at the CIA for 7 years and absolutely hated every second of it. All I wanted to do was coach. Okay, but I had family in there. I was told this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to community college. And like I said, I was $150. I was a good player. I wasn't a great player. I just wanted to coach simply because I was asked to coach my little brother's little league team when I was 16. Okay, I would get out of high school practice. I would run over because the coach got a job flying to Goodyear and Blimp. So I want to thank Goodyear for putting me in the coaching. He moved to Pompano Beach, Florida. So the best player's dad said, "I'll take the team. Nobody else is stepping up. And Pudge, would you come help me coach because you know baseball? You know, your brother Dave's one of the better players." I said, "Yeah, man, I'd love to do it." So he let me do all the baseball stuff. Well, damn if we don't go 20-0 and we get to the 21st game of the town championship and we lose 1-0. I was hooked for life. Like, oh, it broke my heart. And I'm like, this is what I'm doing the rest of my life. I coached an all-star team 2 years later in Vienna. We played for the state championship. And the high school coach at Langley High School, Chuck Welsh, is a legend in Virginia, literally says, "Hey, man, come coach my JV. I need a JV coach." So I'm only 19. He goes, "Okay, well, we'll just tell the parents you're 21. County knew about it, but we had to fudge it a little bit. So that's why I started, that's why I've been coaching for a while. So preparing players with tools and knowledge to become their own best hitting coach, I think that's vital. When I take a 9, 10-year-old kid, I'm going to tell you this right now. When we get these 9, 10, 11-year-old kids, that's when all the bad habits start, that's when all the good habits start. But man, I'm telling you, I coached both my boys. I coached my daughter, Sam, who's in college at Charleston. She was a Little League Player of the Year. If you ever saw Remember the Titans, if you see her, you can tell her I said this. She was that girl. Okay, we go. I have front row seats in that stadium. My boys want to go get Dippin' Dots, and she wanted to break down hitters. Okay, I'm like, something's weird here. Okay, so Little League, she wore a ball to the ribs. College at Charleston stud Avery Neves. I don't know if you've heard of Avery. Avery played for me. Avery hit Neves, that big kid in Little League, stuck her in the ribs when she was 10. I looked at my wife. I go, that's a career ender. She's done. She got up off the ground, sprinted to first. Cried like a baby, but she got up and ran. I was like, good God, she's tough like her mom. She probably spends money like her too. All right, so anyway, I just think that that's a big part of it, right? And I want them to become their own best hitting coach because I'm going to give them that stuff. I'm going to give them what they need because eventually it's going to become second nature. And they should go from taking input from all of us, okay, to giving it back to us and telling us what they're doing wrong or doing well. Learning how to make adjustments. Every great hitter, every good hitter makes adjustments. The best hitters make them pitch to pitch. The good ones make them game at bat to at bat. The average ones make them game to game. And the kids that aren't any good, they just don't make adjustments. Okay, and they get done uncoachable. Okay, so again, you got to be able to make adjustments. Bangers versus table setters. Talked about this a little bit before. That's why I love high school baseball, man. Like, you got guys that are going to bang balls around the yard. I want them to drive in runs. I want those guys in the lineup. But, man, front end and back end of my lineup, I want dudes that can ride at bats, get guys into 15, 20, 25, 30 pitch innings, pitch count, run pitch count, fatigue them within the inning. Because high school baseball, everybody's got a 1, maybe a 2. But, man, other than that, not so much. Okay, so ball flight gives you the answer. This is what I tell my guys. You'll see a practice plan that we did yesterday. Every Thursday we hit at my facility. We're allowed to do camp settings with them this time of year and on-field green days, but they go to camp at my facility as part of MVP. It's a fine line, but we have a bunch of high schools that hit there after school. So anyway, ball flight is our key when we work indoors during winter. I love the winter because they're not doing it outside a whole lot unless they want to go hit 30-degree weather. So stay off top of the cage. I want to line drive back in the cage. That's our goal. Okay, and everything we do and everything we set from our drill routine. I was telling you earlier, there's got to be a balance between live. We'll probably hit live. We may take 20 to 30 live swings, okay, because I want focus repetitions. You know, make the reps count. That's a big deal. Where we probably didn't do that years ago. So there has to be a balance because we've got to keep it short, and I'm going to talk about that. Numbers don't lie. Okay, this is it right here, man. If you write one thing down, write it down because I'm going to change you right now. And I promise you'll come back to me and say that was the best thing I got out of that day. Okay, I have my coach. He sits there, old grader guy, Joe Carter. He's old, he's gruff, he's Sam Elliott. Okay, I put him in the bullpen, and he keeps this stat, the most basic. Jim Lefevre, if y'all remember that name, from 1990 to 2000, steroid era, the beginning of it, at the beginning, he would do these stats, and Jim was telling me about this he shared it. He spoke at a conference we had, we went to dinner, and he told me the same thing. And he basically fly ball to ground ball to line drive ratio, because I keep hearing about ground balls being a bad thing, which is bullshit, okay? It's not a bad thing if you want to win, okay? Because everything we do, it's going to sound bad, but I'm in South Carolina, and I don't want to be politically correct, we want to win, okay? End of story. All right, so here's what we do. Every ball that gets hit, put in play, we rank it. So it's fly ball, even a home run. Bryce Eldridge could hit fly ball home runs. I mean, it was stupid. But most of his home runs were square. The ball he hit at North Myrtle, I think Matt's in here somewhere, right? We were talking about this last night. But Brian, so bases are loaded. We're playing them. Crazy environment, 23. Bryce hits a ball so far that I sent a kid to go get it, and he still hadn't come back. Okay? It was stupid rocked. All right? But, so we keep the stat. So we just put a little hack, a slash. Fly ball, okay, line drive, ground ball. Strikeouts, walks, hit by pitch. All right, we keep that, those are the numbers. All right, and so what we do is we rank it, we put a slant line through it. It means if it's good, okay, or we circle it, I'm sorry, if we got on base. Doesn't have to be a base hit. I want on base percentage. I don't give a shit how to get there. I want to do it. So, just curious, I won't ask, but I normally ask kids to give me what they think the numbers are. So we've done it now for 10 years, but I'll give you what last year's numbers were in over 10 years because they're pretty much the same, okay? The MLB numbers were, okay, 84%, okay, of line drives hit, 84% were guys, of line drives hit from 90 to 2000, okay, 84% of the time guys got on base, okay? Ground ball was 33%. Those are big, they were doing big, his was base hits, 33%. Okay, fly balls, including home runs that were deemed fly balls, okay, were 17% or 18%, I think it was, from 90 to 2000. Typically, the number had been 13 or 14% before what they call the steroid era, and that jumped and spiked. Okay, well for us it's totally different because we're high school. We're not major league guys. We coach high school baseball. Okay, so the numbers for us last year and over the past 10 years are basically this. 13% of the time we hit a fly ball, we get on base. 13%. 87% of the time we get out. Okay? Ground balls, 48 to 52% over the last 10 years. That number, I think it's actually 51%. Last year we were at 52% of the time because there are teams that can't field a lick. Okay? They're going to kick the ball. They still got to field it, catch it, shuffle, throw it. Okay? 52% of the time we're on base. Okay? All right? Compared to 48% of the time we got out. Where, again, in college, big league baseball, it's going to be an out. I get it most of the time. Not in high school. Okay? And then the big one is the line drive. A ball that we square up. Okay? Get 88% of the time last year, we squared a ball up, hit it on the nose with good exit velo. 88% of the time we were on base. Okay? 12% of the time we hit the ball right at somebody. Okay? And that includes a bunch of home runs. All right? So, again, in over 10 years for us, it's 83, 84%. But last year it was 88%. So when you look at that, the next day, I stopped meeting with my kids. I thought what Eric said last night, their post-game routine. I meet with them right away out in the outfield, left field, and home games. Okay, then I let them go we break down, they got their jobs to do, they talk to their parents, and then we will meet in front of the dugout. Okay, on away games, we'll come back and go in, but I don't do game notes anymore post-game, because I get too pissed off, and it turns into a thing, and even when we win, I get, you always want to become negative. I don't want that night to be taken from them, okay? So we will go in the classroom the day after. This is where I've changed. We'll go in the classroom, and the first thing we go over is fly ball to ground ball line drive ratio. Okay, when our fly ball numbers are up, so are our strikeout numbers. Okay, the nights we're hitting 7 to 9 line drives, we're putting up double digits. We're probably out of there by slaughter. Okay, like the regional championship last year, it was 10-0 third, and it was just an ass whooping. Okay, we prepared a whole year for that team, for that scenario, them coming in our house. I even changed my PA system, I promise you, because I'm nuts. Okay, put in this booming PA system, because this team the year before came in talking all kinds of smack. This year they did it by the time they got to the tennis courts. Okay, that's what they do. And last year my kids were like, really? These guys want to do that? Like it worked, because they did what they did. They dogpiled. So they get off the bus this year and try to do the same thing. I literally had Johnny Cash, God's going to walk you down, playing on the PA. I had everything planned, ready to roll. Okay, my manager cranked the volume. We couldn't hear a word they said, and we just belt the ass all night. Okay, and afterward I just put it on the scoreboard. Coach knew. He said, "I wish I could have given you a better game. You didn't play, Coach. Neither did I. Okay, kids did." So that's where it's at. But those numbers right there, we were square on the ball all night because we had talked about it all every day for a year. Okay, ground ball wins in high school. Okay, again, would I rather have a line drive? Yeah, but it's not going to have a scoreboard, not a hit board. Okay, that's what I tell my players all the time. It's not an error board, it's not a hit board, it's a scoreboard. Okay, and you ask kids this, and they'll get it wrong. Team A plays Team B. That's where you ask me this, because this is how they overthink stuff. Who wins? Team A, Coach. Why? Because they hit better. Team, what do you think? Team B. Obviously, Coach thinks that's wrong. Why do you think Team B? Because they're better? No, the team that wins is the team scores most runs. Oh, okay. I swear to you, I'm going to ask that question again next week. I'm still going to have younger kids. My older guys will just shake their head. All right, so mechanics are a hitter's foundation. Training is trusted. I already told you about that. Again, we train that swing quite a bit, but then when we don't talk, when they're hitting on field, I let them come to me, unless it's real early in the season or a young guy, Group 5. Group 5 is my young group. That's the group that's probably not going to play a whole lot. They're the ones that might not get as many swings, okay? We carry a bigger roster. We're 25 to 28 on varsity, okay? And I like to bring 15 to 17 guys back every year, okay? But we're going to do that. So cage work versus field swings, we get a lot done. We call it the cage. I told you the old CMLA coach, Carter Island. We put them out on Carter Island in cages or indoors at Carter Cage. But I give them the plan. They have it that day. Okay, practice. This is one of the greatest quotes I ever heard. Ron Tugwell, West Springfield, guy that I used to beg when I was a young coach. I would ask to work with Tug. He was the coach at West Springfield for a long time. He had been the winningest coach in Virginia baseball. And we honored him at a game back a few years ago at our place. He's 80 years old now, still plays pickleball, and he's a great man. But he was in my office last week, and he said, Pudge, kids today, man, he's coach's grandson, because they just want to play. Parents just want to play games. 8, 9, 10 years old. He goes, but I always said practice where you learn the game. Games where you learn to compete. That's so true, And I think that's we've gotten away from the whole learning the game a little bit. Not here, but you know what I'm saying. Don't count the reps. Make the reps count. Less is more. Focused repetitions. I think that's vital. I think again, you see these little league teams. You go up to the little league park. You watch the middle school kids, and they're just taking 25 swings in the side of the cage. They get better. So this is Don Mattingly at the ABCA. You guys may have seen this on social media. I love this. The better hitters get themselves in a position to hit, the better mechanics. Means the less holes in the swing, which means more pitches that you can handle. The worse the mechanics are, mean the less pitches you can handle, which lead to higher chase rates, more swing and misses in the zone. Mechanics are a hitter's foundation. Your mechanics will dictate what you can do well and what you can't do well. Don Mattingly had a pretty good clue, as did Tony Gwynn and bunch of other guys I'll throw at you. They knew what they were talking about. I think that's fantastic. I don't think mechanics all, but I will tell you this. I always tell kids when I train in our facility, younger kids, say, So you can't take the bat back to the store when it doesn't make contact and say, hey, this bat doesn't work. Oh, no shit, okay? It's your swing socks, so let's get better. Okay? Again, tell them the truth. They'll respect it later. All right? Simplify. Okay? Information overload. This is where I probably differ from some of you guys. Okay? We talked about it, but this is how we simplify. I'm going to give information overload. I think of it as install period to get a season. Think about it. Like, we'll do a lot of our install in the preseason, okay? But I can't really do that because we haven't made cuts, so technically, got to make the cuts first. That first week, I like to do it in the gym, actually, because they're focused a little bit more. That's the only time I really want to be indoors, because I want to be. But we'll do bunt coverages, first and thirds, or picks, all the stuff that, and I give them information overload. I take them in the classroom, and they have notebooks. Every player has a notebook, okay? And I didn't believe it this years ago, and I am all in on it now, okay? They have to bring they know every Monday we're going to classroom, and every day after a game we're meeting in the classroom to do game notes and do numbers, run numbers, okay? But, okay, I'm going to overload them as hitters, especially early in their career when they're younger, okay? They're eventually, because again, why? Because I want them to become their own best hitting coach. I want them to have knowledge, okay? I'm going to throw a lot at it, like, so at the beginning of an 8-week winter session, I'm going to take them, and again, we got a waiting list for kids that want to come in and hit. I only do Sunday mornings now, and my high school guys, okay, I spread it out. Like I said, I used to be on the floor 36 hours a week, seeing hundreds and hundreds of hitters. Now I probably see 120, okay, and I let my other coaches do it. And now my son's coaching in Maryland, and he's running player development, so they're all doing their thing, okay? But when I say that, we're going to overload. I want to throw a ton at them because it's going to get easier. It's no different than going to school in the class. I like to tell all players, I said, look, I love Spanish 1 so much, I took it twice. Okay, I wasn't very good at it, so I had to learn. It took me a while. All right? Okay, they're going to overthink it, and that's okay for a little bit. Who cares if they overthink it during the winter? As long as by springtime, I got them feeling good about it because we know how to pick it up and stop thinking. Okay, we can get that. We know how to we can kind of get them going where they'll think less. I shouldn't say stop thinking because not every player will do that. Okay, they will transform and learn to react. Okay, that's a fact. We want them to become reactionary hitters. For every action, there's a reaction. Okay, we want them to be proactive when they do it. I tell them all the time. Bryce Eldridge walked into this facility, guys. He did just 2 years ago. He was in here doing what you guys are doing. So was Trianto. So Alex Bregman worked with him for 2 winters. He would come to town. He was dating one of our managers. I mean, it's been a who's who. Okay, Bryce. The greatest thing I'm going to share the story with you. The greatest thing that Bryce Eldridge did. His freshman year, he was always the little league phenom. He was always the big kid, but he worked hard. Okay, but he was always told how good he was. I was the first guy when we connected because, again, I told him the truth. I brought him in 8th grade to watch us work out because his principal called me and said, "Bryce, can you talk to Bryce? Because we think you're the only one that can get through to him because he just, he kind of, just kind of being a middle school kid. Sure, I got it." So I bring him in, and he thinks he's coming to watch us work out because I'm Bryce. So I bring him to the office and says, "Hey, sit down." I put him in the little chair. I always have 2 chairs. That chair, you're good. If I put you in the little chair, you don't feel like you're this big. Okay, so I said, and I've been in the little chair plenty, so I know. All right, and so I just say, "Man, what do we got to do?" So we start talking about it. We make a connection. So the next year he comes in, he feels comfortable. He didn't like it that day. He still tells the story about, "I thought I was coming to be told how good I was, and we're looking forward to having you. Instead, I was told, get better." Okay? So he comes in freshman year, he says, "Coach, I'm going to be honest. I want to learn how to hit direction. I don't know how. And I'm afraid to work on, I don't like working on stuff in front of other kids because I feel like I got to be the best. Because I feel like I'm always being judged." I said, "That's what I knew. This kid's going to be spectacular. This kid's going to be special. Like, no kid does that." I said, "Bring your dad up. Have your dad come up. Bring you up." He brought me, came up, met me 3 nights, closed the doors of the facility, and there's an exit sign in the middle of the facility. I put him in this cage 3, and we just started going at directional hitting, working backside, getting inside the ball, barreling balls, staying through balls. Okay, so long story short, he walks it off, gold medal game, USA Baseball against Japan, 420 feet to left field. I'm watching it. This is a senior in high school that summer before, and it just puts a smile on my face because I thought back to that time when he had no clue where everything was sitting spin to 20% of the field. Now that dude could go foul pole to foul pole, and like he tells me, we just had dinner before he left for spring to head out to Arizona, he might hit 10% of his balls dead pull side now. Everything is gapped away, and he's got that kind of juice. You're 6'8", you can do that. So again, don't be afraid to challenge them. at every level. And that's what I do with the best players. You can't just do it to the guys that aren't the best. Okay? My best players make a challenge. I'm going to shred them too. It's become kind of like a cool thing. Like Coach Pudge gets in you, gets after you. You know, it's like a badge of courage, I guess. So the verbiage creating, I love this creating. Pat McMahon, anybody remember Coach McMahon? Anybody ever heard of Pat McMahon? Pat was coach of Mississippi State, Old Dominion, Florida Gators, to win the World Series. One of the most genuine people I've ever met in the game. I took a team down to a team camp where Tommy Slater was assistant, and Coach Mack. I took a young team, and we got whooped. And I knew it because I just thought this group, my 07 group, one day is going to grow up and be special. He said, "You can bring them, but you're going to get spanked." And so Coach Mack at the end grabs me. He says, and then I met him my first year of coaching. I was sitting in the front row of Richmond. I was scared to death. He took me out. We sat. We had drinks. He chatted with me, and he befriended me. Sent me 2 weeks later. We sat for 2 hours, talked over soda, and he sent me a pack of practice plans. Changed my life. Okay, he taught me how. He's the best now. He runs player development for the Yankees and draws up their practice plans and their preparation. He said, "But you got to learn to simplify." He goes, "I love what you're doing with players." He goes, "But the best advice I'm going to give you," because I always wanted his feedback. And he would ask me for my favorite drills. Before they went to the World Series, he wanted to count them. He said, "Man, we did. It was great." So we were sharing. It was kind of cool. But he said, "You got to learn to you're doing a great job because you're not talking paragraphs." A lot of young coaches, they'll give you a book to tell you how to get posture. So that one word posture becomes a paragraph. It shouldn't be. You've got to first learn how to get it to a sentence. And it doesn't matter what you're teaching, but what you are teaching your players what matters is that they know and they understand your verbiage. Okay? Especially if you're going to work with them from elementary to middle school to high school. Okay? Because that creates it. So again, turning paragraphs and sentences into words. That's the key. That's the best advice I give anybody. So we will hold posture. Instead of load, we'll say post. Okay? So when you flick that hands back, we're post, we're firing, okay? Assassin. We have key words that we use. And then in game, I tell my coaches it's harder for my assistants. Okay? I'll tell them, during games, I got them. Okay? I stay in the dugout, I got out of the coach's box, okay? Because I wanted to be in there, I wanted to talk through his approach, like this is what we're doing on this kid against high school baseball. All right, but I'm letting them come to me, and they're coming to me, what are you saying? This is what I got. You know, the best one, Nico, the guy you saw earlier, he could really hit, but last year, he loved overs. He would get called hey, Coach, what are you seeing? I'm seeing that you're big as shit, and hit the shit out of the ball. Just go do your thing. Just go put the barrel on the ball, it's going to go. You know, you got to keep it simple, and you've got to remind them. They're looking for that instant feedback. And on game night, it's going to be a lot more positive. In practice, we might find some things to work on. Okay, but it's going to be constant feedback. Encourage communication. Like I said, I want them to know that they can be honest with me. And I'm not, again, there's some days I got to know when to pat them on the ass, tell them, go get them, man. Just go do your thing. Hey, I feel good about this right now. You're going to hit a bomb before this night's over. It's pretty funny because then when he does it, you're like, how do you know that? I don't know. I guess just trying to get them feeling good. I've literally called players that are struggling, and I'll call them, I'll text them at 10:45 p.m. and I'll say, hey, man, or the next morning, I've done that too, where I'll say, hey, 3:17 this morning, man, I woke up, I figured it out, I got it. We're going to nail this today. I'm like, what do you got, coach? I can't wait to get to practice. What do you got? I say, well, you know what? You're just not seeing it all. It's nothing. It's timing. But I'm going to, talk them through. We're going to do a couple drills. We're going to barrel shit out some balls because it's all mental. I really believe that. Okay? If their swing's good, then it becomes that mental side's going to get you. So we encourage that communication. Okay? Last night when we got out of here talking about soft, hard focus, I literally called my shortstop going to Maryland. It was 11:12 when I got back to the room. I said, Chase, I'm sorry to call so late, man. You're going to love this because he loves talking hitting. And I'm like, he goes, coach, that's what the Maryland coach, Josh, was telling me. The same we started talking. We got a 20-minute conversation because, again, I'm addicted to baseball. Okay, instill the importance of winning 90 feet. I already covered that with you guys. We are harping on that all the time. Hit by pitch, walk, whatever it is, just win. Win that at bat. Okay, here we go. This was hand-to-hand last year after we won that. That was a lot of fun. We've done that a couple times down there. The combo, unlock the ball. Okay, and this is what I tell all our kids. When they first come in, you guys probably haven't heard of a guy named Jack Maloof, Atlanta Braves minor league hitting instructor, one of the best hitting guys I've ever had a chance to sit down for 2 hours and talk hitting with. Okay, and he shared this. And Dayton Moore, who's a good friend, was the assistant GM of the Braves back then, and said, you got to talk to Jack Maloof, Pudge. He's that good. and he's cheating, he's really, so these are the 4 words, 4, 3, 1. The first 4 words we're gonna take every young hitter, because I want them to work. They don't need coaches on top of them, right? How many, well, my instructor said, or my hitting coach said, no. Okay, don't care what your hitting coach says, because from September to June, I'm the only coach that's gonna be in your ear. And if you go to those pitching labs from, you know what, during our season from January to June, you're never gonna pitch for us. I'm just gonna tell them that's how it is. Okay, because again, I'm here, it's for your own safety. I can't have you throwing right. We have to fight that fight, okay? But when we get into the combination here, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get up and we're gonna talk balance, direction, quickness, and vision. You don't need to be coached, but what you do need to do is go work every day and have a purpose for your work, okay? So we're gonna go balance, okay? And I'm gonna show you some drills in a few minutes, my favorite balance drills, a few of them, okay? Balance, and again, if you go to that global network, we've got hundreds of drills, individual team drills, the whole thing. Balance, why is it important? Because we're gonna see the ball deep, okay? And I tell every young kid, go home, write it on the wall. I have my own kids do it when they're little. Put it on a piece of paper, put it on your mirror. I want you to look at it all the time. I don't ever, every time I ever see you, if I see you out in public, on the street, I would say, hey, Johnny, hey, Coach Pudge, what's 4 words? Balance, direction, quickness, vision. I want them to live it because this builds the foundation of a hitter. Those 4 words, it's based on mechanics, okay? Direction, hitting the ball where it's pitched. Okay, you want to be a great team again. My 02, that 02 team, we hit 396, 29 games. We only gave up 38 runs, 29 games. Okay, we scored 244 runs. All right, the team hit, like I said, 396 as a team. It's a state record to this day. We hit 396. It was stupid. My 9 hitter was all state. He was really a leadoff guy anywhere else. Joey Lynn, we call him Joe the Show. He had 15 doubles. He had 5 bombs. I said, Joey, I'm going to hit you leadoff tonight because I just want to get you some more swing. He goes, no. Coach, don't even think about it. I don't want any of this curveballs. Just keep the fastballs coming. Okay? He knew. He said, Coach, I'm not the 9 hitter. Come on, man. I'm one of the 9 hitters. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. Okay? You know, and that's a great way to look at it. So, quickness. We don't ever say strong. I don't say swing hard. Okay? Your ass is alive, right? What did Gary Ward used to tell Danny? The ass is alive. Okay? That's real. Okay? We're going to get violent, but everything we do, we talk in quickness. Quick explosive movements. We train in quick explosive movements, okay, through the core. We want to be in the ground. We want our core in the ground. We want our lower half. We want to hinge it. We're going to let it rip, okay? You should be, that's why 20 swings, you should be tired after 20 swings, okay? If you take them right. And then vision, okay? I know Eric did the visual thing last night. We do it too. I'll take my thumb. I'll put it over, I'll look at the red hat in the back. I'll put my thumb there. Just tilt your head here. Tilt your head here. You're changing sight line. That's the biggest flaw, I think, in most high school hitters is sight line because they collapse, they come up out of it, they're changing their sight line. It's hard enough to hit an 85-mile-an-hour, 90-mile-an-hour fastball, much less while it's moving and coming at you, but when you have to do it when your head's on a swivel, no. So a lot of stuff we train is keeping the head still. And so once we get the foundation, so in an 8-week plan, for instance, and I start my high school guys over. Week 1 is the first weekend of December. We start all our winter hitting stuff. Okay, 54 hours a week, we've got 15, 18 kids per hour all week long, okay? And I'm telling you, I won't budge off of that until I feel like the foundation is set, until the posture's good, and we're there. And we'll do all our drills. And the way you put drills together and you patch them together is crucial. You can't make it, so this week I'm gonna focus on balance and direction. I usually pick 2, and we're gonna go in that route. So then once we get there, we go to the 3. Then we start rhythm, timing, and approach. We just start really hard on those. And the approach thing will last the rest of the year. We'll talk approach from now until June 8th, if you're lucky enough to get back to that top of that mountain, the state championship. Okay? Then we go into rhythm, timing, approach. Again, most bad things happen because guys aren't on time, barrels not. It just takes time. So we're going to challenge them, and I'm going to talk about that as well. Okay? And that gets you to the one word. All those 7, if handled correctly and you develop them correctly, get you to confidence. Okay? And my best hitters have always been confident. They weren't perfect, but they were confident. They weren't arrogant, but they were confident. And every time they came up, and I don't know about you guys, but like first and second, nobody else, we're going to bunt a lot. I'm Augie Garrido, man. I'm an Augie guy, right? He won winningest coach in college baseball. I met him in '92, walked into his office out in Cal State Florida. We're playing a tournament, I'm assistant coach, and believe it or not, I was out for a jog. Okay, and I go in, 10:30 in the morning, I go in, I go, hey, and the secretary, she's really pretty, and I said, hey, hi, I'm here to see Coach Garrido. And she started laughing at me. She goes, "We're here to see Augie. It's 10:30 here in California." Yeah. She goes, and she says to George Horton, who was the assistant at the time, "George, got a young coach here from the upper deck class that wants to see Augie." He goes, "Try 12:30. Happy earliest." Okay? Because Augie didn't. So anyway, leave your number, he'll call you. So he did call me. Okay? He said, "Pudge, it's Pudge, yeah, it's Augie and Rito. We're going to be next door. We're going to be Rich Hoffman, who's the Wings coach in high school baseball at Westminster, was A-Rod's coach, right?" He says, "We're going to be at Texas Lucy's." I'm like, "Okay, come on over, about 9:30. So I went over, and we were there at 1:30, man, and I was in heaven. And I'm asking, they're treating me with that respect, and I got to tell you, all we talked about was confidence. We talked about A-Rod, we talked Rich Hoffman, somebody just instill confidence, okay? Because that confidence and that belief, all right? But I got to tell you, when I go back to the first and second opening out, I'm going to bunt for a base hit. But it never fails because it's whether it's Bryce Eldridge or Kyle Novak at JMU or Triantos, like I can go, "Oh, Colin Tuff." Every time I think something big's going to happen, damn it, I get proven wrong. Because you know what? We'll roll over to a ground ball double play or something. And I'm like, why didn't I just bunt there? But I'm not bunting those guys. I just can't do it. The game knows. Okay, so anyway, confidence is crucial. Confidence in your hitters. But sometimes stick to the game plan. Okay, so here we go, top drills. These are some of the drills. These are plank drills. We use a plank, like you see, a little 4x4 flat plank. I'm big on this. We do multiple drills. Okay, the plank don't lie. Okay, so I love putting a plank. You won't see this one, but I'll put a plank this way, and we'll start intermittent softball stance, and we'll strive to get to that center, what we call that pull holes triangle. I want my guys to get in that good triangle, and we're going to stay back, or we're going to hinge that back, hit and go. This one you're going to see is heels on the edges for posture. Okay, this is Nico, the kid, and he can really swing it. So let's go here. This is where it's trying to plank this way. You won't be able to hear us, I'll repeat it. So the heels are on the edge of the plank. I'll just talk over this. Heels are on the edge of the plank. He's going to get front toss. Connor Moore's the other one front toss with him. He's at Lynchburg. He's a stud. Lynchburg Division III World Series champion. They're a hell of a program in the ODAC. But anyway, Nico here, they're going to go front toss, and we're going to work heels on the edge. It's to keep on the balls of our feet, keep on that posture, chest over feet, that good athletic position. Okay, now when they come off that board, it's slightly open. You can't tell from this angle. That board is slightly open, so when he strides off of that, he's striding straight. Okay, but he's getting that good heel plant, and we're going from there. Make sense? Yeah, he goes in the middle of his heel there. You really want them on the edge of the heel so they're holding and maintaining the posture. He's going to hit 3 holes for Fairham this year, Division II baseball. He's a monster. He'll be a big leaguer someday. I really believe that. Okay. Walk-up drills, next one. This is body control. Okay. Love this. First week we'll do this. We do a lot of body control. We'll do it during the season. This is one of our everyday drills. When we get loose, we always take 10 to 15 minutes in our loose period. All our hitters will do it. We'll go to 50% on our first line of round 2. I want them to work into it, and then we'll speed up. But this one is walk up from the outside, and you're going to see, they're going to walk from the inside. They're going to go front foot, back head. So when we come in, we're on front, back, stride, drive. We go down, touch our knee to make sure we're holding our center line. Okay, I really want my hitters to stay athletic and be controlled. This is Connor. Slow feet, under control, touch. They're going to pause at the end of the swing. I like to pose quite a bit for balance and for extension. Okay, I'm a big pose guy, and then we're going to go down, touch that back knee. Okay, we're going to control every move. So we, again, a lot of guys will break down mechanically and lose control. Again, that's a walk-up drill. This is another, again, I'm just giving you 4 or 5 of my favorite drills. Like, I saw a coach speaking last night about it, this morning, the Winthrop staff. I thought a lot of the stuff they were doing, we're incorporating, but the 3-ball drill, this is awesome. And rapid fire recoil, we just named it. My college guys over the years, my pro guys, my college guys, they all come back and say this was probably the best thing that we did with them. And then basically, when we swing it, we're going to get here and we're going to rip it back, okay? And we're creating that same path, okay, because we want, how Eric Baxter was talking about the whoosh last night. We're trying to create that width. I tell them, think about getting out, I wanted to say this last night, think about when you get out of the shower, those as kids, you get that wet towel and you snap your little brother or sister, right? Okay, so we'll do towel drills, but we're trying to create that whoosh. Okay, so here's what it looks like when you do it for fun class.
I love this drill. My players from years ago love this drill because it's creating a great path acceleration.
As you can tell, I was painting my house gray before I did this video because I don't have gray.
This drill really is the one they took with them. In terms of the importance to this is you've got to rip it back into the low position as quickly as.
Sorry about this. We shot this for the global network stuff. So we have a list of drills for players to work off of when they work on their own. Actually, we had to talk through this because I wanted to bring it back a little quicker. Because they feel like they're bringing it back, but you got to make sure. So I'll let them do it before we do a round. I'll have, we're bringing that recoil and that width back through. And again, we talked about increasing bat speed and exit velo. That's a great one. So I want you to see one more round.
It also helps really get to a good extension. Don't let them fuck with it, which means when we
I was talking about the buggy whip there. You guys see a lot of kids, that front side goes here, and they make that left turn with their hands. We really want to stay extended. Let the barrel chase the ball. This is a better job than getting whipped. Okay, so that's rapid fire recoil. This one is electric too. Hit and hold. First movement drill. We will stop the swing, and again, basically what you're going to see, hold means we're going to go right here, and we're going to have a little bit of recoil there as well, okay, because we're going to try to get that barrel, we want to be as short as we can, the contact, and if they do it right, the ball should pop middle. So we'll go hold, 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 hit, and when we say hit, they stay through the swing, and they feel like, man, oh, that was awesome. They can really feel themselves stay through it. This is called hit and hold.
This next drill here, this is great drill with any but really the smaller guys.
If you find that guys are getting long, like through the season, you get to April, May, they start getting stronger and longer, really go back to this drill, go to hit and hold. Yep, part of that too is they're going to want to get real shoulder, the kidders that are dictated by their shoulders, I want them to get their hands on. So we'll do it with small bat early in the fall, like late fall, when we go indoors in December. We'll take a little league back to it because I want them to get their hands going. Okay, then we'll reconnect them. By the time the barrel's back here, ball comes off here. You got to get the middle contact.
Especially
Like when at least that top hand stay loose in your wrists.
when we start doing this, they're going to really feel for it, or they'll do two hands and start reaching. But they're going to really try to decelerate. We don't want that.
That was, I'm talking, if you can't hear, you're gonna see them try to, young kids will decelerate to feel for it. I don't want that. I want them to have that recoil. Again, barrel is behind you, get it for square contact. Get on that. Good ball flight.
Obviously, you can see with hold, just getting that barrel on.
They hit and hold. All right, so next, damage approach. Okay, again, this is something, this is our approach, it's what works for us. Again, you guys probably have the same thing, that's when you hear something totally different, but our damage approach is really simple. Okay, and this is vital to what we do as a program. Okay, pre-pitch routines, first and foremost, we let them, we ask them, what's your pre-pitch routine? What is, power's up. Okay, pre-pitch routine, all right? Then we go into breathe and relax. Everybody knows the surgeon before he goes in, you better hope he knows how to breathe, okay, if you're getting worked on. Okay, but again, the best way to relax the body, we all know, is right there, okay? Soft, hard focus, that's what they were talking about last night. This has become a big one for us. Again, we're going to look, we're going to find something behind. We have a banner out there. At home, we'll tell our guys, find a banner, and then we're going to go into our hard focus. As we teach our guys when they get here, we'll work on this when I get back too. But when they start, we get to that point where they separate, that's when we go to a hard focus. It's really helped our guys. It actually has helped them not just see the ball better, pitch recognition. It's actually really sped our bat up in the zone, which has been, it's been pretty, I was talking to Roland Wright from Western Ranch, tremendous coach in Virginia Beach area, and he just started working on with his guys. He's like, dude, this is fantastic. Okay, no fear mentality, that's crucial. Like, you can't, you gotta go up there, and I can't have it in the lineup. And if, I'll be honest, you guys tell me, but I can look in my guys' eyes and I can tell what they're gonna give me. I can know if the moment's too big or it's not. Again, they gotta have that look. Great example, 23 state championship. They walk Bryce, tie game. Bryce gets walked for like the 44th time this season. I got Jason Cassidy up and plays up at York College. He's 3 for 3 on the day with 2 doubles. Okay, book says I got to bunt him. I don't want to bunt him. He's 3 for 3. But then I tell myself, he's probably going to be. He's going to be 3 for 4 with a double play. It's going to piss me off. So I'm like, no, we're going to bunt. I said, Jason, I need you to bunt. I don't want a bunch of it. Just coach, I got it. I'm going to do my job. Because the only reason I did it right there, I don't make a decision. I looked at the wrestler for the state title. He's in the on-deck circle. He's crazier than bad shit. Okay, and he was smiling, a couple thousand people, and he's just got that look. There was nothing too big for him. Made it easy. We bunt him up. We executed. He triples in the gap, and we go on. Bryce hits 97 a few times, strikes out the other first-round pick for Mello, and we win the state title. So it's a really good coaching with that kid going 97. Anyway, hunt. We're going to hunt. Okay, we're going to gasket break mentality. H. Dorfman, if you ever read any of his books, he was a great. He's passed away since, but he wrote a bunch of mental books that I used to read back in the early 2000s, late 90s. He was a professional hitting, mental game coach for professional hitters, and I just love the gasket brake mentality. You tell kids when you drive the car, you hit the gas, car moves. When you got to stop, you hit the brake. Same thing in hitting. So our hitters, our mindset is we're thinking mash all the time. We're going to okay. It's yes, yes, yes till it's no. We hit the brake, we get back in. We're going unless it's a take. That's our mindset. That's our approach, okay? Damage approach, continue. Don't settle in damage counts, okay? Don't settle. A lot of kids settle, right? Coach, but I can hit that pitch. No shit. Okay? Well, I can too, but that's not a pitch you're going to drive. You just got yourself out. This is the coolest thing. Billy Wagner shared this on the Global Network. Him and Bagwell, Biggio, the night before the Hall of Fame, they're sitting around a lake up in Cooperstown drinking, and Billy tells us, Bagwell looks at me and he dropped the bomb. I had to stop. I had to put my phone. We're about 20 beers in, and he goes, come on, Bags, give me some. He goes, here's what I'm giving you. Your hitters, not every strike has the same value. Okay, I thought that's gold. Like, we stopped on the Global Network, I'm like, we're writing that down. Not every strike has the same value, and that's what we share with our players. Okay, you got to find that 9-hole first pitch fastball down the way. Sometimes you got to say, tip your hat, that's a great pitch. Okay, I can't damage that. I want something slightly more elevated. I'm going to look out here middle up, or up in the zone. I want something slightly elevated I can drive. We're going to see that ball deep. Okay, hunt 80, react in. This is a big one for us. Tony Gwynn said 80% of what you see the rest of your life is going to be middle away. I truly believe that from high school on. Okay, we tell our guys that, we get them to buy into it. So we tell our guys the verbiage for us is hunt 80. We go up, we're going to hunt 80, we're hunting middle away. I know this, we throw first pitch fastball to the first 9 guys who line up, okay, every time. Only 3 to 4 of them never swing it back, and that's in conference. They know we do it, and they still take pitches, okay? Because we're not going to put people on base. We're going to win. We're going to defend 90 feet. Offensively, we are going to swing, okay? We're going to hunt 90. If we get fastball, we're on fastball. We're going to hunt fastball with no cap, no strikes. 1 strike, we're going to fastball adjust. We're going to hunt fastball first. It's high school baseball. Don't overthink it, okay? But again, we're going to react in. Good hitters will get tied up. My best hitters, well, I've told you that. They're going to get tied up. You're going to get, once in a while, you're going to get beat on the inside part. That's okay. But the kid that tries, all he does is pull the baseball and spins off. He's never going to be able to do anything with that 80%. So another great drill that's not on here is we'll put a tee on the outside third. We'll put it in between my hips, okay? And my coach here will front toss us. If he pump fakes, we stay in rhythm. We drive that ball to the backside gap, okay? Middle to backside, okay? If he does flip, he's going to run on my hands and we react in. And we'll do it more from a live setting. So that's a great drill, hunting drill. Okay, good hitters will get tied up. I told you 2-strike approach, put your swing down, take their hits. Chili Davis dropped that one a few years back, and that's a great one. You know, you talk about Juan Soto, all of a sudden, I'm an Nats fan, I get tickets. Everybody's talking about, oh, he's got a great 2-strike approach. It's the same 2-strike approach we've had, 4x2. We choke up 2, we get on the plate 2, we're going to stand on top of the plate. Okay, we're going to expand the plate 2 inches. Okay, we're going to take it to 19 inches because those umpires are going to ring you up. Okay, and that's where we're at. So we're choking, we're moving up. Okay, we're extending the plate, we're doing all that. So that's our 4x2. So oh, and we're going to widen out too. That was the fourth one. We're going to widen out and replace our step. We are going to fight your ass. We're going to win that battle. We're going to foul pitches off. We're going to fight off pitches. So my college hitters say it. The biggest difference between high school's easy, coach. College, we got to fight to get to the next one. Okay, and that's the mindset. So two-strike approach. That is the one time we will become. We say defensive, but again, and I thought the best thing I've ever heard was when James Triantis told me. I just said, "You're so damn good with your two-strike. I go, what is it you're doing different?" He said, "Coach, what I do, and the only thing I do different from what we're teaching here is I close the foul pole off, and I move it to center field. So I have this foul pole, the right field line, and he's a right-handed hitter in center field, and I just play between those two foul poles. And when you look at every hit he had, they were with two strikes. And he was hitting, he had 3 of his home runs. He had 14 home runs that year, his senior year, his last year with us, and 3 of them, I think, or 4 of them were with 2 strikes, backside, good pitches. He had the ability to pick it off his back hip. Okay, so there it is. All right, so this is the last thing I'm going to wrap up. Okay, this was yesterday. I was gone. My coaches were running. This was our annual workout at the facility yesterday in camp. Okay, this was all in an hour, 15 minutes. We drilled, discussion. Not every strike has the same value. Don't settle. We remind them of that all the time. I don't want them settling, feeling for contact. Okay, then we went to 5 stations by 6K because we have typically 15, 18. Yesterday we had 15 guys there. So 6 minutes apiece. This was a nice combo of drills. 3 pitch recognition for each station in the drill station, 6 minutes. 3 pitch recognition. We'll show them over to L screen, fastball, 12-6 rotation, breaking ball, changeup. I just want them to work on hard focus. We work soft focus, hard focus there. Next one is 7-ball drill, which you guys know, 7 balls across. And we're going to work, we let the hitters call out what zone they're looking for. The second round, they call, okay, the coach will call out what zone they want and what they saw. So again, that's in the drill package I sent to show you earlier. 2-plate drill. Okay, we do it a lot with 3 plates, but yesterday we did 2-plate, 1, 2. We work back to front, then work front to back. That back pitch will become a changeup. We'll do that during the season. It almost seems like a changeup because of the plates of separation. Love doing it off machine too. Okay, but this one we did yesterday from live. Page 4, we put 2 groups. We had opposite T extension. We do a lot of keep those hands inside. Okay, almost like an inside out, driving the barrel through the ball, working on direction. And then the 4th is in the back of the cage. We do reverse offset. We call it cross face when you go right-hander, front toss to a right-hander. Okay, so if I'm here as the hitter, ball's crossing my face, you're seeing deep. We're staying short, we're staying inside the ball, and we're getting good ball flight. We're driving that ball. They shouldn't spin on that. Should go over the right center. Second baseman's head in the right center field. Then, this was our live round, 4 cages live. First round, we did 2 rounds. So again, they got 5 swings each, so they got 40 swings total yesterday of live work. Okay, first cage was coach pitch fastball. I want to see a mixture. Second cage, we have 3 machines yesterday. We went right-handed slider, then we went 3rd cage coach pitch fastball because there are 2 different coaches throwing different arm slots. 4th cage was machine left-handed slider. Round 2, coach pitch curveball, machine fastball, outside velo hunting. We're painting that on the outside third, slightly elevated. If it's down, they have to check it. Okay, cage 3 was coach pitch mixed fastball, curveball. Okay, and then cage 4 was machine fastball with juice. We were pumping that thing. We had the big hack attack on, and we're letting it rip. Okay. Then we wrapped up. We talked to my coaches, talking about today, which was long toss on the football field, 3 o'clock. Nothing better than that, 34-degree weather. Okay, and then weight room at 3:30. We can today's burnout, keep around today. Okay, so that's our stuff right there. That was the plan we went through yesterday. We compile those. Next week we'll start doing more. We'll get into 2-strike next week. And we crank up on the 23rd of February, we'll be ready. So, okay, so this is, again, Global Baseball Coaches Network. I want to thank South Carolina's Association, you guys, for having me. As you can see, Nate Moore, Billy Wagner, Tim Corbin, Chipper Jones, Tom Glavin. It's been a who's who on Monday Night Live. This Monday night's Will Clark. We have Johnny Bench coming in the future 2 months. We have Barry Bonds coming on to talk hitting. It's kind of like it's just a who's who. And we mix in just not major league players, but also coaches. So Chad Holbrook, College of Charleston, is going to be our guest, not this Monday, but 2 weeks from now. So February 9th, we'll have Chad on, and we're going to talk about that. We'll bring up that season 2 years ago where they got absolutely screwed, 43-13. You're not in the playoffs, something wrong with that. Okay, I watched that team; they were good. Okay, so again, if you scan this right here, it'll take you to our landing page. Eddie handed out the cards, okay, as well. The Monday Night Baseball Talk Live is free. If you want to come into our global network and have total access to all coaches, and we can have it for you, and you guys can start sharing, but I mean, the content is unreal. The communication that goes on over there, we would love to have South Carolina involved. We got coaches from all over the country, and again, we're expecting to have about 50,000 coaches by this spring, okay, as part of our community. And it's a safe place. You go on X, you get hammered, right? You watch Teacher Man vs. Fry Daddy, you get great battles, okay? Here, this is a safe place where we talk baseball because we all love baseball, and we're not going to criticize you. We're going to go in, we're going to share, and if you don't believe in it, don't use it. But anyway, thank you guys. I've rambled enough. I got to fly back to 16 inches of snow. Appreciate Eddie. Thank you guys. You guys have been the best. So I love what you guys are doing. This is the first time I ever spoke to South Carolina. Hopefully you guys will have me back someday. But I rambled. I went fast, but hopefully you're leaving with something. Thanks for what you guys do, and hopefully I'll see you when we're in town late March, early April. Okay? Thank you.